And this next fight here, we got Nurullo Aliev. He's making his UFC debut. He's taking on Rafael Alves. This is a high-level fight here. Nurullo Aliev, even though he's a UFC debutant, he's undefeated and a prototypical Caucasus fighter. He hails from Tajikistan, and he looks and fights a lot like Khabib, so I see people already making comparisons, and he isn't as effective with the style, but super good. On the feet, he carries his hands a little bit too low for my liking, and he's a little flat-footed, heavy on that lead leg, so I do think fighters are going to have opportunities to pot shot him, stick and move, maybe walk him into a knockout shot, chop his legs. But he has good pressure feints, and those big punches, has good speed, power, so fighters have to respect his crosses and overhands, and he backs guys to the fence, takes them down, and once he gets on top, he's just really effective. He also can chain wrestle, so his wrestling against the cage is hard to deal with. I wouldn't say he's one of the upper echelon wrestlers in the UFC, but he's still very elite, and when he can get on top, he has heavy ground and pound. He does a good job controlling the wrist and throwing ground and pound, but not a big finisher. He has 2 ground and pound finishes. He did finish with ground and pound in the Contender Series, but the majority of his wins are via decision, 6 decision wins. His cardio looks pretty good. He does slow down a little bit, and the majority of his fights have been easy one-way traffic, so we haven't seen him face too much adversity or get stuffed on takedowns, get put in a bad position, which Alves could potentially put him in. But for Rafael Alves, super flashy, dangerous, athletic, explosive guy. And I think the UFC's fucking him here, man. I mean, I'm a fan of Alves' style. I think his last fight with Drew Dober was badass. And I don't get why you're putting him in here with a wrestler that's just going to try to sniff his crotch and take him down. Like, use Alves in some fun fights, man. Put him in there with some beasts. But, hopefully he could stick around in the UFC if he takes the L here. But he has a chance to win against anyone. And he fights in bursts, so there's a lot of inactivity with Alves, but when he goes, and he'll throw some wild kicks, jump knees, powerful punches. He blitzes forward really effectively with straight shots, closes distance super fast, and he runs a lot, and if you start to chase him, then you'll plant his feet and knock you out, so you have to be really aware. His defense is good. We saw that head movement in the Dober fight. And if you stay in the pocket with him, most guys are going to get dusted. One thing about Alves, he doesn't really take leg kicks that well. He doesn't throw leg kicks too much either. So I don't know if that's going to be something he could take advantage of with Aliev. But I also don't think it's something that Aliev is going to really target either. Fighters with good pressure and durability have been able to wear down Alves and then beat him like Drew Dober we just saw do. And that was the 4th knockout loss of Alves' career. But Alves is always live for a KO or sub and club finish. 7 knockout wins, and he's a great grappler. He isn't the greatest wrestler, and he's comfortable off his back, so he'll throw those wild kicks, jump knees, which put him in bad position, and he'll try to counter with guillotines, and he is a nasty guillotine. I mean, that's something that Aliev has to be very aware of. If he gets caught in that front choke, he's going to be in big trouble, and he also has good leg lock sweeps, Alves does, so Alves is going to be, attacking off bottom, but he also, I've seen him get held down, like in the fight with Ismagulov. And when Alves gets on top, he's not really super dangerous. I mean, he could take the back hit and really get chokes, but he doesn't really look to get on top too much. But I feel like Alves, his cardio is okay, but he's one of those fighters that fights in bursts, slows down, and speeds up. So if you make him fight at a high pace, he can definitely get tired. And he has 7 submissions, but he's been submitted 6 times. So he's been finished quite a few times in his career, 10 times to be exact. And Alves is live in the fight. He's one of the most explosive athletic fighters in the UFC. His power is guillotine, give him a chance to win against anyone. But Nurullo Aliev, I think, is going to win this fight by just grinding Alves if he doesn't get clipped. I think his wrestling is too overpowering here. I think he's going to be able to take Alves down. I don't think Alves is going to show that urgency to get up from bottom. And Alves will probably start to get a little bit tired, frustrated. And I just think Aliev is going to grind him out and win by decision. I don't see him really getting a finish here. He doesn't have that submission ability, and I don't think Alves is going to let him just finish him with ground and pound and wilt like that. So I think it's going to be a decision win for